Today's horoscope from Astrocademy, Scorpio January 13, 2023. Watch for the tendency to overthink your money and things today. It's all too easy to focus on what's behind you. However, as the day advances, good energy is with you for bonding with someone, but it might involve letting go of the need to know all the details of a situation. Sometimes after a disruption, there is a strong feeling of growth and even a feeling of having a new lease on life, which is the kind of emotion you could be experiencing today. It's a good time to allow yourself to be a little vulnerable. Opportunities to reawaken talents or parts of yourself that you were too shy to express can arise. Let your heart soar as sweet Venus, our goddess of beauty, twirls through your solar house. You will have the magic touch with everything that you write or say. You may even leave potential suitors or your current partner spellbound by your enchanting mind. Send scintillating texts, handwritten love letters, or even just chat with a crush over Zoom. No one will be able to resist your charm or grace. If for some reason you've felt that things have been a bit rocky in a relationship as of late, you can use your compassionate and sensitive words to completely smooth everything out now. There should not be any ifs, ands, or buts about your value as a professional. You will need to work on releasing any hidden fears or comments that may have impacted the confidence you have in your creative endeavors when Mercury retrograde in Capricorn squares Chiron in Aries. Usually, a square is a challenging transit, so in this case, it might bring up insecurities or a lack of self-confidence. Instead of feeling ultra-sensitive, you could use this transit as an opportunity to become more self-assured with the value of your talents and skills. Having the moon in your career sector in the heart of the working week is always an advantage professionally, but in the heart of the sun's last full week in your income sector, this has broader implications. It is the moon's friendly aspect to Mercury on the income and Uranus on the career front that not only brings things together across the income, work and career fronts, but with both still in retrograde motion, with a chance to put the past into perspective. Today's planetary movement wakes up the dreamer in you. Yes, think about what you wish for, and with your characteristic persistence and dedication, you will probably get it. This is a good time to focus on the skeletal system and the skin. These two systems are greatly aided by drinking plenty of fresh water all day, every day. Water helps exhume waste through the skin and eases the pressure that builds up around joints. On a day like today, you will definitely be group-oriented. Through your belief that relationships should have all parties involved gaining equally, you could prove to be a font of information for people in a group setting. The experiences you have gained in life closures could also bring people seeking your pearls of wisdom on how to grieve and move on. If you are not careful, though, your time and energy could be monopolized by those who wish to benefit from your knowledge. Remember to recognize your limits and strive to keep them in place. Today marks the start of an 11-day period where the 4 planets that began the year in retrograde motion will start turning direct, but there is an important timeline to this. Eris direct turn in a fun, playful, romantic and creatively charged part of your chart today, and Mars direct turn in your relationship sector tomorrow will have an impact on your personal life. Staying in retrograde motion for another week is Mercury in your income sector, with Uranus turning direct in your work sector 4 days later. The shift begins on the personal front before shifting to income and job matters next week. Over the course of the next 11 days, the 4 planets that began the year in retrograde motion will one by one turn direct, starting with the dwarf planet Eris in your romantic sector today. This will be followed by Mars direct turn in your relationship sector tomorrow, bringing you to a major turning point on both fronts. With support from Venus in your communication sector, Mars' last full day in retrograde motion is a chance to make the most of the doors still open to the past. Our eyes in the sky. Mercury retrograde in Capricorn squares off with healing centaur Chiron in Aries this morning. When these two cosmic forces collide, we can expect to understand how much we personally need to change and evolve. We might even want to reach out to others and apologize for past mistakes, and others might want to make amends with us in an effort to heal hearts and spirits. If you feel misunderstood by others, don't respond aggressively, but take it easy. Despite your high level of commitment, you may experience some tension. Act calmly and put things off until the atmosphere improves and appears less difficult. Exercise is always beneficial for relieving tension and is the best thing you can do now. In your private life, you feel like you're walking through a minefield. One false move and there will be an explosion. This will really put you to the test. Don't let others blame you for everything, sometimes they are at fault too. Remember to be open for other points of view when it comes to solving problems. Reconciling both is a difficult, but not impossible task. Financial commitments can be problematic. The ideas you put forward during discussions aren't effective and others will want to patronize you. You could be confused by this and enter into loss-making investments. Trust your own instincts because you know which investments suit you best. It's always good to listen to advice, but you should always be critical before taking it. If things are problematic, don't be surprised if you get the odd headache or feel tired. It's possible concerns around recent events have left their mark on you. Work on building up your body's resilience and take plenty of exercise, get the sleep you need and try to eat especially healthy foods that are beneficial. Just after midnight, retrograde Mercury squares off with Chiron in Aries, the second of 3 squares the messenger planet will make to the wounded healer asteroid during its retrograde spin. Its first pass, which occurred on December 14th, stimulated communication conflicts born of differences in opinions. Low self-esteem and guilt over misunderstandings played a large part in this cosmic drama. In many ways, everyone involved in the conversation came to the table with old grievances and baggage in tow. While the first alignment stirred up topics in need of closer examination, this second transit helps us re-examine our biases and recognize where we are unfairly judging others, or ourselves. This aspect may be experienced largely on an internal level, as we reflect upon previous dialogues. In fact, we may not have much to add to the discussion today. The important thing is that we allow ourselves to sit with the discomfort. Only through acknowledging the disconnect can we return to the argument with a refined perspective. The final square will occur on January 27th, with Mercury in direct motion. After sunup, the Virgo moon trines Mercury, perpetuating the introspective nature of the day. This is an ideal influence to think up solutions to problems. We have a knack for strategy, but keep the social dynamics of our situation in mind. This is not an emotionless math problem to be solved. We must determine how to gain another's trust by expressing our feelings honestly. Though the Moon-Mercury trine is generally a transit for decision-making, retrograde Mercury inclines us to reflection. Listen to your intuition. You don't need to make any choices yet. Just remain open and receptive to messages from the universe, which may arrive in the words of a friend, a passing encounter, or in daydreams.